Welcome back to the Touchdown Black and Gold vlog, where we discuss, celebrate, and honor all things college football across the entire college football landscape, but with a special emphasis on our beloved black and gold squads of the Missouri Tigers and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Bowl season is upon us. Time to celebrate. Party like it's 1999, but just party and celebrate responsibly. I'm your host, Blair Parks. It's great to be back with you today, and as of always, I appreciate. Thank you for your time, your support. I always welcome and encourage any likes, any shares, any subscriptions, comments. Let me know how I'm doing throughout this episode. Or if you have tuned in to some prior episodes, if there is a subject area or a topic that you'd like me to discuss, feel free, comment, feel free to make the suggestion. I am always open for requests. Or if there is something that I forgot to mention, or if I completely gaffed or put my foot in my mouth, call me out on it, let me know. I have no pride issues. I've been married for far too damn long. My wife has done her work very well. Just kidding. She's a great wife, great mother. And I have to thank her. I don't think I've done that enough, because without her blessing, this has absolutely made this show more possible as well. But anyway, thank you. Welcome back. I'm so excited. Today, it's Wednesday, December 15th. December 15th. It's a big day. It's National Signing Day. The early signing period started this morning. It is ongoing. There has been a bunch of flips, big time signings by this recruit or that recruit. Stand by with that. But today, it's my pleasure, my privilege to bring to you the first of my 3 Bowl Bonanza episodes. That's right, Bonanza. Dun 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 dun. That's right. This year we have 42 bowl games. So divide that by 3. That's 14 games. So during each of these Bowl Bonanza episodes, I will be looking at, previewing, and giving you my predictions for the 14 bowl games at a time. So I am so excited. There's so much to play for here at the end of the season. The regular season has wrapped up. You gotta love bowl season. Perfect time of the year, right with Christmas. So without further delay, let's go ahead and hop to it. Hop sing. Let's get it. So before we move into the first 14 bowl games, I would like to bring you up to date and up to speed on some breaking news, the storylines and headlines, as I try to do on the weekly. First thing I'd like to remind you of, or bring you in the know in case you missed it, over the weekend, the 87th Heisman Trophy Award was presented. Congratulations to Alabama quarterback Bryce Young. He took home the trophy. He was voted the winner. He beat out other Heisman Trophy finalists, Aiden Hutchinson, C.J. Stroud, and Kenny Pickett. Congratulations, golf clap, standing ovation, all of the above. But if you turned into last week's episode, I kind of played spoiler. It was a foregone conclusion. After the effort and after the game we saw from Bryce Young in the SEC title game 2 weeks ago, I already named it the Bryceman Award, the Bryceman Trophy. Definitely won it, but congratulations to quarterback Bryce Young on a great season. But he still has plenty to play for as he and his Alabama teammates prepare for the college football playoff semifinals. The next thing I'd like to bring you up to speed on is the ever-evolving coaching carousel continues to spin out of control. This never-ending game of musical chairs and roulette is ongoing, spinning left, spinning right, up, down, diagonal ways, sideways, like a Wonkavator. It's all over the place. There's no telling where it's going, but some developments in the coaching carousel world. Duke recently did separate with longtime head coach David Cutcliffe. This past week, Duke hired former Texas A&M defensive coordinator Mike Elko as their new head coach. Congratulations, Coach Elko and Duke. And the Oregon saga has now come to a conclusion. If you've been with me, during this offseason, we have seen so many blue blood programs come open from attrition, this coach being terminated, or a separation between coach and program, or we've had other coaches leave one blue blood program for another, like Brian Kelly leaving Notre Dame for LSU, or Lincoln Riley leaving Oklahoma for USC. These are things we hardly ever see, folks. We just don't. Nobody ever wants to leave these destination jobs, and to me, Oregon is one of those. But a week and a half ago, after a lot of speculation, a lot of rumor, Mario Cristobal did leave Oregon and now is the new head coach at the University of Miami, trying to bring the U back to the forefront in Florida. So that left a coaching vacancy at Oregon, and that vacancy has been filled. This past week, Oregon hired former Georgia defensive coordinator Dan Lanning as their new head coach. Congratulations. If you recall, throughout this season, other than the SEC title game, Georgia's defense was one of the best defenses we have seen in recent memory, allowing less than 7 points, a touchdown a game. I mean, basically they have a NFL-type front seven, how they recruit at Georgia. So definitely there's reason to be a little bit hyped up there at Oregon, absolutely. But I think I've shared this with you folks before, you, the Black and Gold family, college football fans alike. Feel free to agree or disagree. But my opinion on this is I've never been big on defensive coordinators as head coaches because I believe sometimes it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. I think sometimes they just still depend on defense, and defense alone to win games and win titles, which, yes, you need to be sound on the defensive end. I mean, hell, look at me. I'm an Iowa Hawkeye fan, lifelong. What's been the formula for us to win games, especially this season? Defense and special teams. But I've never seen a team win when it's 0-0. You must score points to win. So I'm always a little hesitant of DCs being head coaches, but hopefully I'll be wrong because I want Oregon to stay relevant. It's good for college football, especially for the Pac-12 conference, and that'd be great. Hopefully we can see the resurgence of USC under Lincoln Riley. That only benefits Chip Kelly there at UCLA as well. And hopefully Oregon can continue to recruit and have a triad of those three teams in the Pac-12, making the Conference of Champions relevant once again. So big-time developments in the coaching carousel world. Now, something else I need to bring you up to speed on, an update on. I haven't provided you one of these in a while because it is ever-changing. It's hard to keep up. But the transfer portal, since the regular season has now come to a crashing end, it seems like this season flew by faster than any in the past, which that's what continues to happen year after year in the blink of an eye. It's gone. Like the wink of a young girl's eyes, glory days, like the boss said, it's gone. But the transfer portal, since the end of the regular season, there has been buku activity. Major players, major participants have hit the portal looking for a new destination. And if you are new to the transfer portal, it's something that went into effect 2 years ago, that now at any given time, a college football player, or even a Division I college athlete, they are allowed to enter what's called the portal, which then signifies that they are wanting to transfer to another university or program to continue football and their academic endeavors. But What it used to be is you could always transfer as an athlete, but you had to get waivers and you had to sit out 1 year before playing. But now the NCAA, via this transfer portal, gives a one-time transfer to any athlete, and then they can play immediately, right away. So obviously it's a lot like free agency. Or as some people have said, we are now living in the world of me, to where if I'm not starting, I'm departing. And that's exactly is what we see in the transfer portal. But we have some big-time players who have entered their names in the portal, and some have already transferred to new destinations. I'm going to focus on the quarterbacks. These are the quarterbacks that are currently in the transfer portal looking for a new home. We have UCF's Dylan Gabriel, a stud quarterback at UCF, but he did break his collarbone early in the season, hasn't played since. He's looking for a new home. We have two LSU quarterbacks. Both Max Johnson and Miles Brennan are both in the transfer portal. Miles Brennan did have an injury preseason, did not play. Max Johnson was the quarterback at LSU, a very trying season for the Tigers, and Coach O, who's no longer with them, go Tigers, my favorite Cajun. Every time I can quote the great Coach Ed Ogeron, I'm going to do it. So both of their quarterbacks are in the transfer portal. USC's Keaton Slovis is also in the transfer portal. Auburn's Bo Nix, a 3-year starter at Auburn, is currently looking for a new home. Nebraska's Taylor Martinez, their quarterback, he's been there for all of the 4 years under Scott Frost. He is currently looking for a new home. And Texas A&M's Zach Calzada. Now, if you recall, Zach Calzada took over for Haynes King earlier this season when he went down in an injury at Colorado against the Buffaloes, So Zach Calzada was able to win that game in Boulder. He improved throughout the season. They ended up 8-4, but he was behind that big-time upset over number 1 Alabama. So we have some major quarterbacks right now in the transfer portal, and these cats are all very highly recruited. Once upon a time, most of them have legitimate multiple years starting. So this is really unheard of, that we have this much talent basically for sale. It is absolutely free agency. So we'll see where some of these quarterbacks end up heading. Now, 2 have already found a home. Michael Penix Jr., who is the stud quarterback at Indiana, he is who revitalized their season last year. This year, he came back from an injury. They were ranked number 17. There were big, high expectations for Indiana. Unfortunately, they just couldn't deliver. He got hurt midway in the season. He was in the transfer portal. He actually now has signed and he has transferred to the Pacific Northwest. He is taking his talents to Washington. So best of luck to Michael Penix. He's a 3-year starter at Indiana, but his issues have been each and every year he's been at Indiana, his year has been cut short by injury. If we could just have him healthy for 1 full year, I just want to see what he really can give us with his athleticism, his skill set. So best of luck to him, and hopefully he can stay healthy for the full season. And the other one, the big one, this year's preseason Heisman Trophy favorite and the number 1 projected draft pick in the upcoming NFL draft, Oklahoma quarterback Spencer Rattler. He entered the transfer portal. If you recall, during the Red River Showdown game, they got down big early against Texas. At that time, Lincoln Riley, then the coach of Oklahoma, benched Spencer Rattler and went to freshman Caleb Williams and led them on a magical run. They came up just a little bit short this season. So Spencer Rattler never started after that point. So he entered himself in the transfer portal, and he really could have gone anywhere he wanted to with his acumen, his talent level, his potential, what he's shown on the field. But in a surprise move, he has transferred to the South Carolina Gamecocks of all programs. So this is a potential program-changing get for the South Carolina Gamecocks. So congratulations to Spencer Rattler. Best of luck to you. And that may not be the most welcome news to our Missouri Tigers, having to potentially face him for 2 more years. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out there in Columbia, South Carolina. So the transfer portal, I'll keep you up to speed on as much as I can based on, I think last time I checked, there were 2,500 players in the transfer portal. It's just gotten completely out of control. Hopefully the majority of those individuals will find a new home. It really is something that can really bite them in the ass to where they put all their eggs into one basket, hoping that they can transfer to a new program, a new home. In the meantime, they have exited from their team. They've turned in their pads. Maybe they haven't re-upped for the school year. They haven't registered, haven't picked out classes. So here they are. They get left out. The semester has started. And there goes potentially their best opportunity for academic glory. At that point, they no longer have themselves a scholarship. They are left out in the cold when it comes down to getting their education. So it definitely is high risk, high reward entering the transfer portal and putting all of your eggs and hopes into the portal. So I will keep you up to date on that. And as I mentioned earlier at the beginning of this episode, once again, I always encourage any likes, shares, subscriptions. Feel free, comment, let me know what you think, how I'm doing. That it is early signing day today, and I'd like to pass on my congratulations, hats off, a little bow there to all of the recruits, all of the commits. Yeah, at this time, you've seen your hard work, your dedication pay off. Congrats and best of luck to you as you pursue your futures both on the field and in the classroom. Congratulations. So today, 80% of the recruits will commit to a program for the future. And I'm really excited because both of our beloved black and golds, both Missouri and Iowa, are expecting very good classes of 2022. Especially in Missouri, they're expecting a very, very good recruiting class. Coming into the day, whether you looked at 247 Sports or Rivals.com, Missouri was ranked just outside the projected top 10 for the class of 2022. So hopefully throughout the day, they can move up, they might move back. We've seen crazy things happen that when you think you have such and such player locked up, they pull a 180 and commit and sign with another school. So hopefully everything comes true for Missouri and Iowa. Stay tuned. Next week, I will bring you up to speed on the big signings, how it turned out for both Missouri and Iowa. So best of luck and make the best decision. Whatever is best for you and your family, get it done. So that is my updated storylines and headlines for today. Now let's move into Bowl Bonanza. That's right. Dun 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 dun. And for some of you, especially the younger generation, you're asking yourself, what the hell is he singing? What the hell is he referencing? I'm sorry, at this point, I just can't help you. But what I'm going to do today, I'm going to give you a quick little preview and pick 'em. This is going to be preview, predictions, and picks of the first 14 bowl games. But actually, I'm only going to pick and really preview 13 of the first 14. Stand by here for an explanation why that is. And I have the picks of my former co-host, Missouri fan number 1, Charlie Oswalt. We have our ongoing Pick'em contest moving in now into bowl season, and to bring you up to speed on where we are in the race for bragging rights, for the title, the trophy, the award, which I still need to think of what Charlie and I are playing for, and I still need to figure out an award for our guest picker tournament winner, Brett. I got to think of something to send you. But right now, currently, Charlie is sitting at 134 and 72. I'm at 122-84, behind by 12 games. Ouch. Yes, conference championship weekend was not kind to your host. Was not. But that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. But I've got time to catch him and overtake him. Right now, currently, Charlie sits at a 65% correct rate. Me, I'm at 59% correct. We're both need a little bit of work to reach the 70% plateau. That was our goal preseason before Pick'em started. Charlie, I think, can absolutely get there. He has a way to get to 70%. Me, it's going to take a Christmas miracle. But hey, it's the season of miracles, so we'll see if I can get to 70%. So without further ado, let's get to the first game up. The first game on the docket, we have 2 games this Friday, the 17th. And the first is the Bahamas Bowl between Middle Tennessee State University and the Toledo Rockets. MTSU out of Conference USA, Toledo out of the MAC. A little bit of a side note. This is Toledo's first bowl game since 2018, and that last bowl they went to was also the Bahamas Bowl, so they're making a return trip to Nassau. And what a great destination for these young men playing the 13th game in Nassau. And before I give you my pick, something I do want to mention, a little rewind here. Rewind, okay. I've got to say this about these first 14 bowl games. These, to me, are just as important and must-see TV as the bowl games on January 1st and on the 31st, and here's why. Granted, we all know most of us are going to be watching the college football playoff semis on New Year's Eve. We're going to be watching Iowa on New Year's Day in the Citrus Bowl. We're going to be watching the Rose Bowl, the Sugar Bowl. We're watching these big game bowl games, these big matchup bowl games. But these first 14 need to be cherished and savored. And here's why. That the vast majority of the first 14 pit non-Power 5 team against fellow non-Power 5 team. So there is so much to play for. These kids want to play, and I'm referring to opting out. A lot of the big name programs that have the best players in the nation who have NFL futures, we've seen this, the number it's increasing year after year. Some of these legitimate players who have careers at the next level are choosing to opt out of their bowl games, not risk injury, and prepare for the NFL. And I'm not here to knock that decision. I'm not. If I was in their situation, maybe I would do the same thing. Maybe I would say, no, I don't want to leave my teammates hanging. This might be my last college experience. Maybe I would say that, but I'm not in that situation. So I am not by any means knocking their decision. That is their right to do that. I totally get it. But you're not going to see anybody opt out of these first 14 games. Even if some of these non-Power 5 programs have NFL caliber players that might be drafted at the later rounds or maybe might receive a non-draft roster invite after the NFL draft, chances are you're not going to see any of them opt out because they are doing this squarely for the love of the game, for their teammates, their coaches, their programs, their universities, their communities, their families, etc., etc. So that's why I love these games. It seems like there's so much more that is left on the field because the vast majority of the participants of these first 14, they know this is going to be their last football game experience for the seniors and upperclassmen. So that's why these are some of my favorite, regardless of where it's being played or who it matches up. These have to be savored and really enjoyed. And seriously, just watch these games. Even if you don't know anything about MTSU, the Blue Raiders and the Rockets, watch. You are going to be very pleased with the product on the field. And just to see the passion that these men will play with and what they'll leave on the field is unmatched by a lot of these so-called big name bowl games. because of some of those participants will choose to opt out for the next level. So getting back, now fast forward. So here we go, the Bahamas Bowl, MTSU versus Toledo. Let's see how we've got this game picked. Charlie, he likes the Rockets of Toledo. Me, I think they just have a little bit too much. I'm also taking Toledo. Next bowl game up is the Cure Bowl. This pits NIU, Northern Illinois, the MAC champion Huskies versus Coastal Carolina, the Chanticleers from the Sun Belt. In the Cure Bowl. This is Coastal is seeking their first ever program's bowl victory. So get it done, Coastal. I hope you pick it up. And for NIU, they are looking to complete their miraculous turnaround from a season ago. Last season, NIU went 0-6. And like I stated, they now are MAC conference champions back in a bowl game. So what a turnaround season for NIU. Let's see how we see this bowl game playing out. Charlie, he likes the Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina. If you haven't seen their quarterback play, Grayson McCall, watch him. He is a work of art. He has one of the best mullets you'll ever see. You actually can call him Mullet McCall. Me, I like NIU. Watching Northern Illinois in the MAC title game 2 weeks ago, this team is physical. They run right up the gut, right up your nose. I'm taking NIU in this game. Next bowl game up is the Boca Raton Bowl. And that is between Western Kentucky, the Hilltoppers from Conference USA, versus Appalachian State of the Sun Belt, the Mountaineers. Side note on this, Appalachian State, which they went to Division I FBS not that long ago, but since they've joined the FBS Division I ranks, they are a perfect 6-0 in bowl games. Well done. That's getting it done for Appy State. And Western Kentucky, the story for me, if you've been paying attention, you've been watching my last episodes, it's all about Western Kentucky quarterback Bailey Zappi. He is making a run at 2 records. I definitely think he will get at least one, if not both. He needs only 288 passing yards to set the single season record for most passing yards in a season. And he needs 4 touchdown passes to tie the record for most touchdown passes in the season. And 5 will get him the outright record. So I definitely will be watching this game. Now, who we like in this game? Charlie, he likes the Mountaineers of Appalachian State. Me, I'm riding my guy, a guy who I lauded to get to New York City to get some Heisman love. I am absolutely taking, hopefully, the record breaker, the trend setter, Western Kentucky. I'm going with the Hilltoppers. Next game up is the New Mexico Bowl. We have UTEP, the UTEP Miners, versus Fresno State, the Bulldogs. Little side note on this bowl game. This is UTEP's first bowl since 2014. They've kind of been a doorstop of the conference for many a year. So for them to get back to the bowl game since the first time since 2014, congratulations, UTEP. And also, they're looking for their first bowl victory. Their last bowl game that they won was 1967. So get it done, UTEP. Congratulations on a great season. Now, how we see this game playing out, Charlie, he likes Fresno State with their great mascot, Victor E. Dog, Victory Dog. He's taking Fresno State. Me, I think Fresno State just has too much talent. I've been all about their quarterback all year. Jake Haener might be your last chance to watch him. I'm also going with Fresno State. Next bowl game up is the Independence Bowl. Big time matchup between BYU, ranked within the top 15. Great season for BYU. They face off with the UAB Blazers. So big time matchup. This is really a big time get for the Independence Bowl, getting a highly ranked BYU Cougars team against one of the most solid, steady as she goes programs in America in UAB. How we see this game playing out, I love UAB, what they've been able to do. I mean, remember, this program, this team was left for dead. Literally, not that long ago. They disbanded the program to save money. I believe they went dormant for 2 years. Then they came back, and they have done nothing except win and get to a bowl game every year since. So I love this matchup. Charlie, how we see this one playing out, he thinks BYU is just too talented. They're too physical. We both love their coach, Kalani Sitake. He just signed a big-time extension at BYU. They're locking him up, which they should, especially as they make the transition into the Big 12 Conference. He likes BYU. Me, I'm on the BYU train as well. We're both going with the Cougars in this one. Next bowl up is the Lending Tree Bowl between the Eastern Michigan Eagles and the Liberty Flames. Little side note on this one, Eastern Michigan, their last bowl victory came in 1987, so I was alive and kicking, but still don't really remember this one. So how we see this game playing out, Charlie likes Liberty, and I think a lot of that is due to quarterback Malik Willis, a guy who is projected on every NFL draft board to be a quarterback taken in the first round. Charlie's going with Liberty. Me, I also like Liberty in this matchup. We're both taking the Flames. The next bowl game up is the Jimmy Kimmel Los Angeles Bowl. That's right, Jimmy Kimmel, has his own bowl game. He's the main sponsor. I mean, how great is that? I mean, I don't care what bowl game it is. If it's the such and such Blair Parks Bowl, I love that. I would absolutely be on board for that. Now, would I be willing to risk or put up my children's college funds? Maybe that's maybe a discussion for another episode. Let me get a quick swig of water. So the LA Bowl. We have Utah State, the Aggies, facing off with the Oregon State Beavers out of the Pac-12. One of only two, actually there's three, one of only three matchups we have of the first 14 with a non-Power 5 versus either a Power 5 or an independent. So this game, let's see, and I love this matchup. It's very regional. Utah State, Oregon State, they both recruit the same region of the country, the same players in a lot of instances. So big time gets at the end of the winner of this game. Remember, Leo gets. So big gets for either team. Little side note on this game, Oregon State, coming into this bowl game, they have a very impressive bowl record of 11-6. Did not know about that, and you probably did not either. So how we see this game playing out, Charlie, he likes Oregon State, just very physical team, kind of like Utah, and we've seen how much success Utah has had this year, which was my preseason pick to win the Pac-12, just saying. So Charlie likes Oregon State. Me, I also like the Beavers, just too much physicality for the Aggies. But congratulations to Utah State. They were the Mountain West champions. They knocked off San Diego State 2 weeks ago. So great season regardless for Utah State. But we both like the Beavers in that one. Next game up is the New Orleans Bowl, which has the Marshall Thundering Herd out of Conference USA versus the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns out of the Sun Belt in a pseudo home game for Louisiana. Little side note on this game, that Marshall even also has a very impressive bowl record in their history. They are an impressive 12-4 in bowl games as Marshall, so that's getting it done. So this game we have a lot of offense. A lot of offense. Louisiana just lost their longtime head coach, Billy Napier, who now is at Florida. He did coach them in the Sun Belt Conference title game, which they did win. So congratulations on to the Sun Belt champions. So how do we see this game playing out? Charlie, he likes the Ragin' Cajuns, and how could you not? They have one of the best mascot names in all the land. This was a tough decision for me. This Marshall squad can absolutely throw the pigskin all over the yard. They can. And that very good record in bowl games. But I just think Louisiana playing in New Orleans gives them the edge. We both like the Raging Cajuns in this game. Next bowl game up is the Myrtle Beach Bowl there in South Carolina between the Tulsa Golden Hurricane, not Canes, the Golden Hurricane, versus the Old Dominion. I believe they are the Monarchs, I believe. Little side note on this game. Old Dominion, this is their second ever bowl game in their program's history. And Tulsa coming, and actually Old Dominion as well. Old Dominion comes into this bowl game against Tulsa on a 5-game winning streak. That's getting it done. They're as hot as Texas chili right now. Will that continue? Let's see. In this game, Charlie, he's taking the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. Me, because of ODU's momentum, 5 in a row. I say make it 6 in a row. I'm taking Old Dominion in this matchup. Next game up is the famous Idaho Potato Bowl between the Kent State Golden Flashes from the MAC versus the Wyoming Cowboys of the Mountain West. It's going to be at elevation, kind of a home game sort of atmosphere for Wyoming. A lot of offense, a lot of experience for both of these squads. A little sidebar on this bowl game. Wyoming comes into this bowl game at a 500 record at 8-8 in bowl games, trying to get above that with a victory. So let's see how we pick this game coming out. Me, I love this Wyoming squad, one of the most veteran teams in the nation. Very short travel time for them, but I've been high on Kent State. They let me down in the MAC title game. I think they can just simply outscore this squad. So that's where I see it. Charlie, he likes Wyoming. Me, I'm taking the Golden Flashes of Kent State in this bowl game. Next one up. Now, first one, these won't be repeats. Trust me, just bear with me. Next one is the Frisco Bowl down in Frisco, Texas. Not San Francisco, California, but Frisco, Texas. So the Frisco Bowl pits UTSA, the Conference USA champions, the Roadrunners, against the San Diego State Aztecs, one of my favorite matchups of the first 14. Little side note on this game. UTSA, this is their third ever bowl game in program history and looking for their first ever bowl game victory. So good luck to you, UTSA. I love this matchup. I think Brady Hoke is doing great things at San Diego State for the Aztecs. But you know me, I've been high on Sincere McCormick, UTSA's running back all year. Let's see how Charlie and I pick this one. Charlie, in this game, he likes UTSA. The very physical team, can run, a lot of play action, tough defense. He's taking the Roadrunners. Me, I'm on board with that as well. I'm also taking UTSA in this bowl game. So we're both on the Roadrunner train. Next bowl game up is the Frisco Classic, also in Frisco, Texas. This game is between the Miami of Ohio Redhawks against the North Texas Mean Green. We've got MAC versus Conference USA. Little side note on this game. Miami of Ohio, their last bowl victory was in 2010, so they're trying to end a long drought. And North Texas, coming into this bowl game, they are also hotter than Texas chili. They're also on a current 5-game win streak. So something's got to give. Let's see how we see this game playing out. Charlie, he likes Miami of Ohio. He thinks they're just too much on offense. Their quarterback, Gabbert, putting up excellent numbers this season. Me, I think North Texas is a great story. Coach Seth Luttrell maybe has turned the corner there, and I have a soft place in my heart for North Texas because that's where Iowa legendary coach Hayden Fry used to coach at. But I am also picking Miami of Ohio in this one as well, so we both like the Redhawks. Now the next bowl game up is the Gasparilla Bowl between Florida and UCF. We have a showdown, a battle of Sunshine State schools, two teams that are trying to get themselves prominent, to remain prominent, because the last couple seasons, Well, at least this season, you can say Florida's best squad was UCF. So a little sidebar on this bowl game. Florida, woo, pretty good bowl record. Well, considering the number of bowls they've been to, but they come into this bowl game with a record of 24-22 in bowl games. So right there, good number of bowl games the Gators have been in. But this one's going to be a tough one to call because Florida having the upheaval, Dan Mullen no longer there. Their best wide receiver, Copeland, entered the transfer portal last week. So where is the offense going to come from? UCF under finishing up first-year coach Gus Malzahn's season, former Auburn coach. So let's see how we see this one coming out between these two Florida schools. Charlie, he just likes the speed, athleticism, power, depth of Florida out of the SEC. And this is one of those few matchups we have between non-Power 5 and Power 5. Me, I'm also thinking that as well. I just think Florida has too much horses in their stables against UCF. So we're both taking the Gators in this one. Now the 14th bowl game, which this one I am not going to preview. I'm not going to pick. Neither did Charlie because we have a special treat in store for you. The 14th bowl, the last one of the first 14, is the Armed Forces Bowl, which is between the Army Black Knights, the Independent, against our very own Missouri Tigers. That takes place on December 22nd. But why I'm not going to share that one with you today, I'm going to have a very special episode up this Friday. Either going to be late in the morning on Friday, the 17th, maybe early afternoon on the 17th. I'm going to have a very special in-depth preview and prediction episode of the Armed Forces Bowl. Probably about 30 minutes, give or take, 5 minutes here or there. And I may or may not have a very special guest with me to help break down and preview this big bowl game. So stay tuned for that. And make sure to tune in on Friday for that special episode of the Touchdown Black and Gold vlog. But that's it. That wraps up episode 1 of 3 of my Bowl Bonanza specials. Once again, I invite any likes, shares, subscriptions, any comments. Hit me up, blow me up. You know, if you want to either praise me, knock me down, call me a dirty SOB, fine, that's your prerogative. I mean, you want to call me dumb, stupid, and more than likely, I probably agree with you on that. But let's just keep it halfway clean. Just to remind you, we are adults, so let's please act like it, comment accordingly. But until Friday, thank you once again for your time, your support. You make all this possible. It's an absolute pleasure for me to be here with you, sharing my love and passion for this great game, this great spectacle, this celebration that we have in this nation of college football. So until Friday, enjoy the rest of your week. Have fun, be safe, peace and love, and I'll see you on Friday. And thanks for joining me on today's episode of the Touchdown Black and Gold vlog. See you on Friday.